Hello, everyone, and welcome to that one time we read manga, where four friends decide to start reading manga together and come in here and talking about it. My name is Tim, and fun fact for me this week is I have never watched a Godzilla movie all the way through.
Ooh.
Just boring.
I can't believe it.
I know. Never been a fan. I've seen the Matthew Broderick one like halfway, and that one was just, I couldn't get through it.
I am so not versed in that I don't have a clue what that is, even. Duncan, go!
Hi! My name is... My name is Duncan. I got introduced to Godzilla movies at way too young of an age. I had to have been like 5 the first time I watched a Godzilla movie, and they scarred me for life.
Which is why you love Jurassic Park now.
Probably.
Hey everybody, my name is John, and I have two parts to my fun fact. First part is I've watched the most recent 3 Godzilla movies, and they still suck. The second part of my fun fact is... Yeah, go fuck yourself. The second part is if you have ever been interested in getting into bourbon, the best bourbon to start with is Michter's Sour Mash, although you're never going to find it.
All right, I'm imposing a one fun fact rule, and it has to be one we care about.
Okay, so it's...
Sour Mash is not a bourbon.
Oh, that's fair. It's a whiskey. And how we care about that? Kaiju drink bourbon exclusively.
Yes.
I'm gonna need some evidence on that.
That's a canon fact.
I'll provide it.
Did you not read the first 20 chapters?
Yeah. Oh, I read them.
Then you saw that that was a canon fact.
Yeah, it happened everywhere.
Show me the panel.
Yeah, it's on.
I'm Nate, and my favorite kaiju is Donkey Kong.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes. No, I think you were saying that to get a little discourse from us, but we're all in agreement on that. But we'll see if the people at home have anything to say about that.
If they
maybe
do,
that'll be a poll on Facebook after this episode goes up. It's just like, do you think Donkey Kong's a kaiju? Yes or no?
if they do, they just have to remember that in Ultimate he has 4 spikes. Don't forget that.
That's important.
It
Yep.
is.
Very important.
Spikes are a defining feature.
Oh my
They
God.
are.
Speaking of DK mains are the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I'm a Link main myself. But about the manga that we read...
Hey, yeah, it was your turn to pick the manga we read. What did we read?
All right, yeah. So this week we read a manga that I kind of randomly chose because the artwork was cool, and it's called Kaiju No. 8. So what this manga is a quick synopsis, a little TLDR for you folks who didn't feel like reading it. So grotesque monsters called kaiju have been appearing around Japan for many years. To combat these beasts, an elite military unit known as the Defense Force risks their lives daily to protect civilians. Once a creature is killed, sweepers, quote unquote, working under the professional kaiju cleaner corporation called Monster Sweeper Inc., which I thought was funny, are left to dispose of the remains. So we read the first 20 chapters. In that first 20 chapters, a lot of things happen. To start off, we meet our main character. His name is Kafka, who works as a professional kaiju sweeper in the cleaning service, and cleaning up dead monster guts and butts is kind of like what he does for a living. I know, right? I really wanted to put that in there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so Kafka has long aspired to work within the Japanese Defense Force, neutralizing kaiju and keeping civilians safe. He ended up failing that as a much younger dude. Years after failing to get into the Defense Force due to him quitting at one point or another, Kafka meets a new join in the Sweepers named Reno. Or, I don't know if it's Reno or Reno. I'm not sure.
Reno.
I went with Reno in my mind.
I like Reno. Reno's an aspiring Defense Force candidate who joins the Sweepers to gain valuable experience that's going to assist him in being selected into the Force, because that's exactly what he plans to do right after he gets a little bit of experience here. Reno convinces Kafka to join give the Defense Force another try and to live out his dream. after Kafka seems very perturbed about failing and talking about it. A big twist and new obstacle that presents itself, though, is Kafka was orally violated by a unknown kaiju that makes its way into his mouth and ends up turning him into a part-time kaiju.
Without his consent, which is important.
Without his consent.
Look, we on this podcast believe consent is the most important thing anybody needs to have. And
The most important.
Ever.
The most
Ever.
important thing.
The most.
Ask our friend Logan. He's the king of consent.
King of it.
And through several instances, this newfound ability not only helps him make his way into the defense force, but also saves the lives of many along the way by defeating some big deal kaiju, to include another humanoid kaiju that is seemingly immense in power and has a bunch of abilities that so far it seems that the defense force hasn't been able to see yet. And that brings us into our episode. My first question for everybody is, gentlemen, first impressions, go.
I liked it a lot.
I'll say Duncan, start us off.
Big fan. I like the character design a lot. I like the art a lot. I like the plot a lot. I liked everything a lot. That's pretty much it. A big fan.
Yeah, Duncan, very, very insightful. That's why people listen to us, is that hard-hitting deep dive into like the psychology or whatever. Yeah, great job, Nate. What do you got?
Listen, if somebody walked up to me and they said that that's why they liked it, I'd probably read it. Like, especially with the intensity in Duncan's eyes, I can only imagine.
Oh my god, can you see it from here?
Yeah, I really like the art a lot. For those who read, there's also like 0.1 chapters, and I can tell that it's definitely when the artists need a break, because I think that these panels are insanely detailed.
Dude,
yes.
I really like the 0.1 chapters, because it was nice to just see like some artwork either colorized from the stuff we already read or just original drawings in color.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so like the 0.1 chapters for me, I have a tendency, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but I have a tendency, like, I get really sucked into the verbiage and everything that's like written on the panels, and sometimes I gloss over the art itself. I do like sitting back and paying attention to it, but sometimes I gloss over it, and those 0.1 chapters kind of let me like take a second and sit back and be like, oh, that was like way cooler looking than what I originally thought.
It's interesting that you say that, because I'm the exact opposite. We're all kind of gloss over the storyline, but pay a lot of attention to the detail that they put into the panels themselves.
Nate, were you done with your first impression?
Oh, I had one other thing that I just could not get enough of, these the sweepers, the whole thing of the anatomy of a kaiju, and like, don't mess with that organ, that's got like acid in it, and then like they put too much stress on it, and then one of the cleaners got burned because the acid came out of the organ of a kaiju. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah, that was going to be part of my first impressions. Obviously, I love this. It was a very interesting thing, but I really like the idea of, it's kind of following this pattern that I think One Punch Man really set out to set, which was like, you don't see you see the big action scenes and the heroes fight and all this other kind of stuff, but you don't get to really see the aftermath. So it's almost like parody, where like, oh, the big kaiju and it's dead. All right, cool. Or we can all move on. But then it sucks us into Kafka's life, where it's like, no, they don't just disintegrate in the middle of town. Like, someone's got to clean this shit up. And I found that just infinitely more interesting than your typical anime, little dude fight big monster thing. Like, if this was a manga about just the defense force fighting big monsters and the whole twist of Kafka turning into one didn't happen, I'd be probably less interested. But the fact that it started us off with him as a cleanup crew, or as part of a cleanup crew, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is so cool. It's so mundane, but I love it. Like,
yeah,
because it's shit nobody thinks about. There's no after credit scene of a Godzilla movie that I know of because I never finished one.
Oh my god!
That shows them cleaning up like the monsters. Like there's just, to my knowledge, they don't exist.
The premise, in my opinion, is certainly unique in that aspect.
Yeah, but I also am very thankful that it's not just a manga about the cleanup crew. I love the twist of, that unknown talking kaiju that it finds him in the hospital bed at some point and goes, aha, there you are, and just enters him. Forcefully.
Yeah.
Forcefully in a super not cool way.
Oh, no!
In a totally non-consensual way.
In a non-consensual way. Somebody call Logan. But, when that happened and he got these, powers and he became a kaiju but wasn't, 20 feet tall. He was only, 8 feet tall maybe? Maybe not even that much taller than 6 foot. I don't know.
Say.
But, yeah. Once that happened, I was like, oh, now we're really going to get into it. This is going to be cool because now he's living that double life. I love it. So, yeah, I was on board from the get-go.
And of all things, he was a really cool-looking kaiju, too. I mean, we see a lot of different kaiju in here, and some of them are really dopey looking, like the very first one you see. He's the size of multiple city blocks, which goes back to, the job of the cleaner crews. Honestly, I didn't really consider it reading the first chapter that the cleaner crew was, a non-glorified job. So I was like, that's a really cool job he has right there, cleaning up gigantic monsters.
If that shit was real, I'd probably sign up to do it.
Yeah,
I'd probably do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, I probably would.
If fighting them was out of a question, then cleaning up would easily second.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually think it's important to. So I don't have the actual definition in front of me, but to my understanding, what a kaiju is, that word, what it means is a very large monster, right? Is there more nuance to that definition, or is that pretty much what it's supposed to be? By very large, I'm talking buildings, size of buildings, typically.
I don't know. I guess that's pretty easy to figure out, but I think the thing is, I think it's a giant beast or a really strange beast with divine power or something.
Yeah,
I looked up the definition, and I've got a giant monster of a type featured in Japanese fantasy and science fiction movies and television programs.
Okay, so I guess the point I was trying to make, though, is that by definition, kaiju means giant monster, but the quote kaiju we see in here, yes, some of them are giant, but the one that Kafka turns into, or even the one that gives him these powers in the first place, he's not a giant monster. The main antagonist that we meet, or at least the antagonist that we meet, the other kaiju, they're not giant monsters. In this one, it just seems kaiju just means monster. It doesn't have to necessarily be giant. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, agreed.
Because when reading the premise, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to turn into a massive beast, and then he turns into a humanoid that's probably 6.5 feet tall. He's not that giant.
Yeah, he's not that tall. 6 feet.
Yeah.
Really not that tall.
No, 6 foot's actually pretty average.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly above average. Let's be fair. All right.
You got to give me some credit, okay?
Oh, that's right. Hey, sorry, Nate. I forgot.
I think the giant part of this is that he had a giant heart, and he really wanted to help everybody out.
I don't think it was that kind of. I think we read a different manga than you. I don't think it was that kind at all.
I don't know. He saved people on so many occasions.
He had a giant heart for one chick that he grew up with, and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be next to her no matter what." And I'm like, "Good luck, pal. She's pretty accomplished."
In its defense, understandable.
Very understandable.
Yeah, you make that kind of promise to someone, and then she outshines you your entire life. You're like, man, I really let her down.
By leagues. By absolute massive leagues.
Massive leagues.
If you had a best friend like Mina growing up, and you're not together with her or actively trying to go for it, you should figure it out. Love is
figure it the fuck out.
Love is an important thing in life, and you should never stop pursuing your dreams unless consent is not involved, and then in which case stop.
Yeah, if she tells you what, if she tells you no, all right, fine.
All right, quit on your dreams.
I'm
But if
just
she doesn't
surprised.
actively squash that shit, then you pursue.
No, I was just surprised that he wasn't like there being a supportive friend anymore. She was just gone. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
And, I mean, I think after she reached a certain point, there was nothing he could do to support her. He was, if anything, going to drag her down. In his previous state of the quitter loser who can't even make it past the first test of the defense force.
I
red
support
flags.
people supporting their individual dreams. That's not a red flag.
oh no. Her red flag is that she is that she doesn't accept his friendship. And doesn't talk to him anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's a red
Yeah,
flag.
she like completely ignores it. Like even when she sees him all beat up and is like, "Oh yeah, cool, I guess. All right, see ya." Like, all right, okay, so now she's just a jerk. Like, is that why they're not friends? I don't know. It was a whole thing.
They are also in like a pseudo-military setting where rank is important, so you have to take that into consideration.
Oh yeah, he calls her by her nickname in like one of the meetings, and everybody looks at him like, "What the fuck? Who do you think you are? Like, you're not even an officer." That'd be like if you know we were in the military, we were like a private or something, and we walked up to one of the generals and was just like, "Hey, Kyle, how's it going today?" Like, what the? Who the fuck are you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just absolutely nothing to it.
Absolutely unsad.
Shot on sight in the American military.
Yeah. Must be weird for those guys.
Yeah, must be weird for those guys.
Yeah. And so we can go in any direction with this because I think we have overwhelming, positive views of this manga.
Yes.
But I want to point out one thing that we love here on this podcast, and that's power scaling. So,
Yay, power scaling.
Power scaling. So we're talking about like kaiju here, and we're talking about the people that fight kaiju. So to start off, all right, we encounter a kaiju that's like the size of multiple city blocks. All right, that's a big deal. And Mina, the childhood best friend of this, takes care of it like easy work, like
Fucking one shot.
oh yeah, like just a day's work, real easy time. All right, she's like from what we see in the first 20 chapters, she's like the top cream of the crop going on here.
Uber badass.
Yeah, uber badass. But we meet like several characters, and they go through selection to get into the defense force, and what they called it was like the toughest the toughest selection course in human history, which is a very bold claim. But
They should have just called it the Hunter Tribe.
I mean, yeah,
or the tuning exams.
yeah. I mean, honestly, we should have had 45 chapters dedicated to that because it didn't seem that difficult to me. But I don't know.
Yeah, well.
I don't know, but like as far as power scaling goes, I mean, we meet like they said in there that like this group that was going through selection was by far the most gifted that they've ever seen before in like defense.
Oh,
history.
I loved when they did the lineup of just like, oh, that's so and so. He's the first ranked at another school, and it's like, what was the one girl's name who was like the prodigy?
That was
Kikoru?
Kikoru Shinomiya.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was a freaking firecracker right out of the gate, dude. I was like, oh, she's gonna be like the rival turned friend, and I was right.
Yeah, and I mean, and for
Yes, you
power scaling purposes, I mean, so they tested their what was it, lethality rating, or was it what was it called?
It was like their suit power output rating or something.
Yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
it was their ability to. They have these suits that are made from the biomechanic cells, I guess, I don't know, of the kaiju.
Yeah.
And you can bring
Yeah,
out
that
the
sounds
power
right.
based on your like fighting ability and your strength overall. This is like the prodigy of prodigies. They've never seen anybody on this level go through selection for
I was gonna say,
Kikoru.
they said, what was it? The first, like the average, like adult male in one of those suits can only tops out at like what 20%?
Yeah, 20 to 30, and that's ever. That's like
That's ever, right?
Yeah, that
She starts at like 45%.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's like
46.
46. Yeah.
Yes, 46.
46.
Wow.
And that doesn't even come close to what Mina is at. What like the top level is. Like she's very very lethal and she can take care of kaiju on her own. But like we're talking like Mina is sitting at what 98% or 96?
I don't know if they gave her a number.
I don't know. I don't know if they gave. They
Yeah.
just said she was at the top end of the percentage.
They gave her a number. She hit 96 when she was about to launch a cannon at a kaiju.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's right.
yeah, which is insane. And then, as it would be, our main character in his non-kaiju form is a whopping 0.
Yeah.
Hey, I am all for relatable protagonists.
Oh, yeah.
Relatable main antagonists for the win.
Yeah,
Yeah. I have to think that this power scaling can't be linear because there's like these massive fuck off monsters and they just randomly appear. There has to be some sort of like logarithmic or exponential scale to this power scaling, in my opinion.
I think
just because the higher you go, it has to take more and more effort to get more and more stronger. And
more stronger, yeah.
yes, exactly.
And I will say too, like it definitely seems like the humans have a linear power scaling. It's not 100% clear if kaiju do, though. I do have a feeling size plays into it. So we only read 20 chapters, so we don't actually get to really meet any big bads or like have a lot of comparison. But the one big bad that we do meet wasn't that big. He was probably about the size of Kafka in his kaiju form. And the only other thing we have to compare that to is the giant kaiju at the very front, which was massive and one-shotted. And meanwhile, these humanoid-sized ones are like smart, and they're not just beasts. They're like, I don't know, but yeah, they seem like the smaller the kaiju, the more powerful it seems to be.
Yeah, at least from what we've seen so far.
Yeah,
I would say, except for the new terms that I learned about in this kaiju book are the Honju and Yonju, which are basically spawns of kaiju.
Oh yes, that was interesting.
yeah. And then the other classification, which Nate, I don't know if you have it pulled up right now, but like the top level of kaiju, which we find out that Kafka, when he's in his kaiju form, he is around that top level.
Yes, the Daikaiju.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daikaiju, which I don't know what that means exactly in Japanese, but it sounds really cool, so it must mean something good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Sounds
cool.
so cool.
It sounds like something that's like an apocalyptic threat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, like if they set out a warning to the city right now and said, "Hey, there's a Daikaiju in the area," I would just go, "Well, guys, have fun with the podcast without me. I think I'm not going to make it out of this one."
I'll see you later.
All right, I'll see you later. Yeah, I'm out. Something called the Daikaiju just landed outside, and I ain't fighting them. So
first
No.
name Dai, second name Kaiju. That sounds like a bad
Yeah.
time.
I
That
just
sounds
looked
like a
up
real bad time.
I just looked up a translation, and it's basically great giant strange beast. It's just like it's a kaiju,
Oh, no.
just big.
So like good best monster.
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
monster.
It's basically if I said super beast or something.
Okay, yeah, I dig it. Little Rob Zombie on you.
Mm.
Nope, no one. Okay, well Nate got it, I think.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
good enough, good effort.
Good enough, good effort. All right, we'll put crickets on that one. But yeah, no, the idea of a Daikaiju and him being one, of course, you know, he has to be our main antagonist, who has this incredible power. I love how at first it was just going to be a secret. He was like, "I'm not going to tell anyone." Obviously, Reno knows because he was next to him in the hospital when it happened. And then he's like, "I'm not going to, I can't tell anyone because they'll just hunt me down." And like, I don't know the Defense Force to be very understanding. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. And then almost instantly within the first test, he's like, actually, let me back up this thought for a second. They like time skip us a little bit. Like we jump months ahead while he's getting ready for the Defense Force thing, to where he's learned to control his power in bursts.
They do.
Like, he can only like transform his like hand, so he can get a super punch in, or the muscles or whatever. However they explained it, I can't remember.
They didn't really. Like it kind of just it was a thing, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity there. But at the same time, I feel like they really wanted to get to the big like the big main point of the whole manga, which I do appreciate. I don't know if that's going to come back to bite him in the butt later on or not, or maybe they'll go back and do like a little retrospective like time lapse or something. But I mean, they really did miss over a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be flashbacks to that time gap. How many months was it? It was like
3.
What, 4 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be like a flashback of like he'll eventually, again, the first 20 chapters, we find it's a good introductory, but like the author might be like, yeah, the first 30 are the introductory chapters, and then after that it breaks wide open. But
It could.
It could. Maybe we'll find out someday.
I'm personally a fan of skipping the training montage.
No, and that's what I mean. Like, we don't have to see it right up front, because what was it going to be? Just him probably accidentally changing in line somewhere and then running away.
Yeah.
Him accidentally changing, like, when he sneezes or something. You know, it was going to be stupid, and then he was going to be at home, like, training, and Reno was going to be helping him, and he was going to try and stay under... We know exactly what those 3 months probably looked like, but they're a nice device for the author to flash back to if there has to be some kind of, like, revelation later on, and he'll be like, oh, just like during those 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that was my exact thought.
Yeah, me too. Like, we could skip it. It's not that big of a deal, and it really doesn't interrupt the flow of the story all that much.
No.
But to where I was initially going, which was he was going to keep it a secret, and during the Defense Force training, he's like, you know, doing the little stuff, and he doesn't want to give himself away because he's being monitored by the suit. But then when that other kaiju, the other humanoid kaiju, like interrupts that training, he instantly says, fuck it, I am just going to have to, you know, expose myself or something, like out myself as a kaiju, at least in front of the one chick, the prodigy chick. I'm bad with names, so forgive me.
Kikoru,
Kikoru.
Which, in my opinion, was a noble method of doing that. And
yes.
In this situation, like, he wasn't really being observed by anyone. There was a lot of smoke in the area, and he did it intellectually, but he did do it in a manner that Kikoru did observe him doing it, and he made her promise to not tell anyone. So I think that she is a noble character, so I wouldn't anticipate that there's anything bad that could come from that.
No, I don't. And I don't think so either. As soon as he's like, I have to keep it a secret from everyone, I'm like, well, that means at least 5 people are going to know by the end of this 20 chapters.
and then immediately, at least one other person knows, and then like a couple
Exactly.
chapters later, one other person knows. So there's, I mean, at this point, it's only really 2.
It's
but
basically
he is
how I
keeping
keep
it
a secret.
Exactly.
I'm like, all right, I have to keep this a secret from everyone except you 3, and then whatever happens after that is your fault.
Yeah.
But what I like, he's still keeping it hidden from the upper echelon of the Defense Force, including his childhood best friend Mina. What is the other guy's name? The other guy in charge of that squad?
Hoshina.
Oshina. So that guy, he starts to piece it together. He's like, hey, wait a minute. Kafka went missing as soon as his other kaiju showed up. Like, that's a little suspicious.
We're talking about the sword guy, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the guy who starts like kind of piecing it together.
Yeah.
He's very suspicious of Kafka, especially after that, of just like, hey, we lost, or I think it was reported like, hey, we lost Kafka's vitals, and then he investigates further and realizes the timestamp of the missing vitals is right around the time that kaiju showed up.
Yeah.
But I don't think he outright confronts him about it. He's just trying to test him to see, like, you know, is this guy what I think he is?
I mean, at
So
that
it was
point,
very nice little back and forth.
he's very one-track mind, kind of like a bad guy shows up, I have to kill him kind of deal.
Yeah. And I love how, remind me his name again, sword guy. Oshina?
Hoshina.
Oshina. He like sees Kafka's drive to want to be basically co-commander with his friend Mina, and Oshina's just like, abso-fucking-lutely not. You know how hard I worked to get to this spot? Like, I'm not letting you take it. And my thought reading that was like, I don't think he said he wanted to take your spot. He just wanted to also be standing next to Mina. But hey, you know, motivation's gotta motivate, so, you know, whatever. But
I believe that they also stated his power level somewhere in the 80s. I don't remember the exact number.
92.
92. Okay, 92. Got it. Oh, it's close.
Yeah, because he made it a big point to where, like, hey, if you want to stand as a vice captain or by our side or something like that, like, you have to be at least close to on par with her, and he showed that like at short range, at mid and short range, and we find out that in turn that is because he's good with swords, like melee combat style weapons, I guess. His power at that range is 92, whereas she's a 96 at long range, which that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think we really get an opportunity to like see how those two work with each other as far as combat goes, because we only see either one or the other going at a time. But it is really cool to kind of see that there's different ranges and there's going to be different capabilities that each individual has.
Yeah. We did see a lot of them fighting together, but we definitely saw them like interact together, and she is definitely in charge. Like, she is 100% the leader. Because I forget what Oshino was going on about, but he was saying something, and she was just like, Oshino, shut up. Just shut up. Like, she shut him down pretty quick. And I'm having a blank as far as, like, when or what was happening, but...
Something else I really like in this is the development that we've seen, even in these 20 chapters, of the side tagonist of Reno. It's at first he was just kind of like a bratty kid, and then he became to be like, you know what, I want to fight with this person. I don't want him to protect me anymore. I need to be stronger. And I'm like, I like this. I like this development that we had in a character in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. Reno was really good as far as like I don't know if I would call it character development, but like their bond that they developed, and it still goes a little bit off screen throughout the whole thing. But like their bond is super, super tight, and Reno is really appreciative of the one time that Kafka protected him from a kaiju and tried to like almost tried to sacrifice his own life to protect Reno, and he feels indebted to that, like to a crazy extent. But I mean, their bond is insane. I mean, at one point you see, because Kafka in his human form is so useless in combat, you see Kafka riding on Reno's shoulders as he's ready to like point out and like shoot kaiju, while Reno's just running around like an idiot with him on his back. But I thought that like it's a lot of fun to see their bond, and like Reno's whole idea, at least for the beginning of the selection, was that like he needs to be stronger so that Kafka doesn't out himself. He doesn't have to revert to his kaiju form, which he knows that he's strong in. And like they want to stay together through this whole thing. And at first, Reno was a really cold dude. Like he just wanted to be in the defense force. Yeah.
I loved their first meeting where like Kafka's trying to give him advice or something, and Reno just starts walking away from him. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Why would I listen to you? You're a quitter." Yeah, like, I don't want to take advice from you. You're not someone I want to emulate. So leave me alone. And I was like, I mean, I get it. He's a little dickish, but I get it.
I respect that entirely.
I respect it. He said it kind of mean, but I mean, again, if some dude who's failed at everything in his life came up to me and started giving me advice, dude, get away from me. What do you have to offer?
Especially if you're living in the scenario that they are, where it's kind of like post-apocalyptic, giant monsters just appear every day. You have to be ready for violence at any moment, so you have to keep that like combat mindset at all times.
Yeah, exactly. And I did last one little thing actually I wanted to add about the while they're in that I guess battleground in the training, before he has to transform and fight off that other kaiju, Kafka really shows like, hey, okay, so this kaiju is weak here, and it does this, and it's weak here. And, like, he's very, very smart thanks to his time in the sweepers. Like, I like that they incorporated that into his skill set.
Yeah.
Of just being knowledgeable about kaiju anatomy, where they're weak, what they're capable of. Like, you don't spend years cleaning up their dead bodies and organs and not pick up a few things here and there. So I like how that was incorporated into. So he's weak, but he's not like useless in his human form.
Yeah, that would have. I think that would have played a real negative part in the story if like he didn't have something else, because there is like I think it's pretty common as far as like manga and anime goes, like the useless main character that gets strong sometimes and saves the day. Like that's not his whole thing. Like he is really smart with that, and he does prove like to be extremely useful, because there was that one kaiju where they probably would have had a really hard time without knowing where his weak spots were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice that it's not just another main antagonist that's like, I gotta go, gotta power up or else I'm useless, and then some MacGuffin keeps him from powering up, like, I don't know, being monitored in this case. So yeah, I really like how.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that I found really interesting was the artist's attention to detail in terms of the weapons that they used. So there was one scene in particular that really caught my attention, where they're all traveling. It was after the exams, and they had all been granted the status of oh my god, my brain is saying Chunin and Hunter, but I know those aren't right.
Defense Force?
Yeah, the Defense Force officers, and our main antagonist Kafka was a cadet, I believe, and they're all in trucks, and they all have weapons, and there's a couple pages where they're all prepping their weapons, and they actually do like proper brass checks, and I thought that wasn't necessary, but the fact that they included it at all was an amazing attention to detail, especially because they don't even use those firearms as proper firearms. They're like weird energy blasters that derives power from the combat power levels of the user.
Yeah, I think they're linked to the suits somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, I think so. There's not exactly much explanation in that, and maybe we're being overly positive. Maybe that's something that they should have gone into and explained, but
I didn't need it.
I don't think I needed it. I mean, I think it moves along at a steady pace, and honestly, like, my biggest fear so far is like that we're all going to want to come back and read this, and that with how fast it progresses, it's going to end just as fast. And we're not to closing thoughts by any means right now, but I think like from what we're seeing, like it's moving on at a pace that a lot of manga really should move on. Like it's just enough, because all of us, like as soon as every one of us was done, we were all like wanting to read more. Like everybody had the same opinion about this thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I like doing these, ones that no one like. Just the little introductory chunks, like 20 chapters, like, and that's, I think, a nice little bite size for the show, because, if we were to read more, like, who knows, maybe it really slogs and it just gets bad. Like, I hate to say that, but it's possible that something starts out really cool and then just craps itself in the middle. I think actually the closest thing we've had to that so far would be Phantom Seer, where it kind of started out interesting and then just died on arrival.
Yeah,
I have to agree.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
No,
go ahead.
I'm not saying that's this, by the way. I'm just saying, like, that's why I think 20 chapters is perfect, because it gets us, invested enough to where we're like, oh, we could keep reading, or if it's bad, we could say, no, we can put this down. Kaiju is definitely let's see what happens next, maybe eventually.
On the bright side, there's 80 chapters of Kaiju number 8, whereas Phantom Seer was killed at 30. So
yeah, well, good. yeah, we read the entirety of Phantom Seer. Oh man, that's the first manga we ever finished on this show, guys. Aren't we proud of ourselves?
It was
we
great.
finished a manga.
Nope.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not proud
hell
of
yeah.
Phantom Seer.
No,
I'm happy we did it. That's trauma bonding, boys. We've said it before. I'll say it again.
something I'm stuck on is what Duncan said about them doing proper checks on these guns. So as far as artistically in writing, so this is Japan and they don't have access to firearms. That's impressive.
That's a good point.
I was to say, yeah, they don't have the firearms laws that we do.
I didn't think about that.
Huh.
Maybe the artist traveled or just looked up videos.
YouTube, baby.
Maybe
YouTube.
Maybe
you learn anything on YouTube.
Maybe he was in the Defense Force for Japan. I think, it's the JDF, the Japanese Defense Force. Maybe. I don't know.
That would be interesting.
That would be cool.
It is pretty cool.
Does anyone have the artist or the author's name in front of them?
Hold on 1 second.
Is it a different artist, different author? I don't know. Sometimes they do that.
I'm not exactly sure.
It's not even that they do just proper brass checks, but there was also a lot of detail put into the artwork that involved the firearms. So they were very obvious modern firearms like H&Ks or Glocks or something of the like, but they were just modified to somehow utilize the energy that was developed from the suits.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be taken seriously. Of just like, hey, I'm gonna revolve around firearms like that. Then hey, I better get it right.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just good detail that doesn't need to be there.
Exactly.
It
was unnecessary but appreciated.
And I think it's one and the same. I think the artist, I might be wrong here, but I think the artist and the author are the same person. So it's Naowa Matsumoto. So, for anybody that might want to look at his or her other works, honestly, I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
You never know sometimes.
Very not very familiar with Japanese naming conventions.
Yeah, I don't know.
No matter how interested I am in like manga and anime, I still don't always get it.
Yeah. But so I mean, like, there's a lot of little things that we can dive into, like as far as like things that were interesting. I mean, and I think there was no hold up of interesting things in this manga. One thing I do want to kind of hit is towards the end of it, all right, we encounter another kaiju, another humanoid kaiju. And he seems to be the most formidable threat that we see, at least in the first 20 chapters. We don't exactly find out a name, unless I'm wrong about this, but he's another humanoid kaiju that actually was a new join that worked for the sweepers.
I was actually going to bring that up. Of like, how about the other kaiju also being a hybrid? But he seems to be a kaiju that can turn into a human, not a human that can turn into a kaiju. Just by the way he spoke about being human. That's
exactly what I was thinking that was. And I'm pretty sure it might have actually said it at some point. But like, yeah, it's a kaiju that can turn into a human. Which, I mean, raises a lot of questions as to like what is going on with the whole kaiju human situation.
Oh my god, yeah. I got instant Tokyo Ghoul vibes of just like they live among us. They're among us.
I got Attack on Titan vibes.
I also did.
I haven't finished that. My mind went straight to Tokyo Ghoul because I've read that one. I've read Tokyo Ghoul like 3 times.
Oh yeah, it's glorious.
I mean, the first 2 seasons I've watched on repeat. The RE I haven't been able to get through all the way, but didn't need to, especially for this connection of just like as soon as it was like a kaiju that could turn into a human, I got like, yeah, they live among us, and the Defense Force is going to have a real hard time because I instantly was like, well, how many are already in the Defense Force?
Yeah, it still seems like, and they were talking about the previous era of the Defense Force, and like, you know, when they were talking about how Kikoru's like one of the prodigies, the biggest prodigy since like whatever era or whatever, but. Oh shit! What was I getting at? Oh yeah. So that happens, but that just makes me wonder. Like, it seems like the kaiju problem, and it didn't expand on it too much, but it seems like the kaiju problem is a relatively new thing. Like, I don't know if it's manufactured by humans. I doubt it, kinda. Or if it's like something that we'll find out later, like what's the root problem of kaiju? Why did they start showing up? So on and so forth. But
are they in the walls?
Are they in the walls?
Yeah.
But like this kaiju, seemingly kaiju that can turn human, like he seems like the most formidable threat that is going to exist for a while. He has the ability to raise other kaiju from either the dead or severely wounded. I'm not exactly sure yet. And he seems to have the ability to control them as well.
Yeah, he definitely seems like I don't want to. Hive mind's the wrong word, but he can bend their wills and do what he wants. And I made it sound like I instantly thought like, oh my god, they're kaiju everywhere. But it's equally possible that this is the first of its kind, kaiju that can pretend to be human. Like that is equally possible. We would have to read more to actually find out.
It could be, because it doesn't, at least at this stage, it doesn't seem like the Defense Force knows exactly how to deal with it. Now, granted, I mean, it was mostly Kafka that dealt with it in anyways. There was only, three or four Defense Force personnel that actually dealt with this guy. A bunch of them saw it. He shows up 2 times, one during the exams, and then 2 when Kaiju is a cadet and everybody else is an officer.
Kafka.
Wait, what did I say? Kaiju?
Yeah, when Kaiju's a cadet.
Whoops.
Which, I mean, you're still technically right.
Still right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I don't think the Defense Force is ready, because, again, of the ones that did have to deal with him, Kafka seemed to be the only one who could, do anything about it, and he had to be in kaiju form to do it. And even then, like, the thing retreated because it wasn't expecting Kafka to be the kaiju. Like, he was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know it was you," because I think he didn't transform in front of him at the exams, right? He did it and then charged him.
No, I think you're right on that, but that kind of goes back to the very beginning of the whole plot, was like the unknown kaiju that entered Kafka and ended up like turning him into this being that has this ability. Like, where did that come from? Did it come from this humanoid kaiju? Was he trying to like do something, like and trying to infect the human population? Like, where did that come from? Because I feel like the two are tied together.
I have a prediction.
Okay, what is it? I don't know.
That kaiju that infected him is part of an inner resistance group of kaiju fighting against this like mind controller one. Like, turns out they're not attacking due to their will. It's just this one monster has a fucking like vendetta against humanity, so he like uses these kaiju against their will to attack humanity. And that one that infected Kafka was just like, nope, we're gonna go find someone who can stop you.
Like the Godzilla type of thing. Like Godzilla's a good kaiju.
Yeah, allegedly.
Man. I mean, that puts us in a situation that we're not often in. I don't know, I might be wrong, but I think this is the first manga that we've read that none of us have any. Well, maybe Phantom's here. None of us have any context, and we have no clue. Like,
yeah.
So, Phantom Seer was like that too, and I mean, yeah, but yeah, no one here has read or even heard of Kaiju number 8 before you just found it, like, and so yeah, that's my prediction. I have absolutely no context, and I'm going to love if I'm right, but I'm also going to be okay if I'm wrong, because that's just how life is. That's just life, I guess.
If you don't mind if I slightly derail for a moment, I accidentally lost myself in a deep dive with the artist-illustrator, Noya Matsumoto. So, not to be confused with another Noya Matsumoto, who actually works as he was an actor and stuntman in multiple Godzilla short films.
Oh my god.
He was Godzilla in them.
Oh.
So it's not the same person. So in case anyone looks that up, the artist and illustrator for Kaiju number 8 and the other Naoya Matsumoto are 2 different people. I got lost for a second because I was like, no way did he actually do Godzilla as well. That would be nuts.
That would be nuts.
So, I don't know, do manga artists do pseudonyms of like, hey, this isn't my real name, but this is my artist name or my author name? Like, maybe he took his name as a pseudonym?
I feel like that's such a crazy coincidence. I feel like they have to. There's no way that, like, that has to be the case right here. There's no way that they both just happen to work with Kaiju.
I would honestly not be
it
surprised.
would be very easy to disprove. All you have to look at is the one guy, the artist's like Wikipedia, and be like, real name blank. Like,
maybe.
If it's his real name, then hey.
I didn't see that, but I did see that the person that did those short films, those Godzilla short films, are actually recent, and the person that acted in that is younger than the artist and illustrator. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Interesting, like kind of hive mind sort of thing.
No kidding.
I guess if that's your name,
Right? Then you're just interested in kaiju.
Yeah, I'm avoiding saying it because I already forget how to pronounce it.
I mean, I met another Nate the other day, and him and I both love Metroid. I think that's just the same thing.
You gotta think.
Is Samus a kaiju? By the definition of this manga?
Oh, with as much DNA as she has, possibly.
By this point, she's gotta be.
Yeah, she has like 3 different DNAs, but that's another story for another time.
Hey,
we don't have time.
About it, we'll talk about it. We don't have time!
We don't have time!
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's a really neat fact. That is such a wild coincidence. And, yeah, it might prove we're living in a simulation.
It might prove it.
It's the smell. It's a Matrix reference.
Yeah, it's the smell. Yeah, I knew exactly what you were saying.
Thank you, Nate.
Another fun fact about me that everyone's going to hate is I've never watched the Matrix movies all the way.
Oh, my God.
Man, he only eats chicken.
Yeah.
Again. Thanks for nothing, I guess. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I do want to draw attention. We already talked about the artwork and stuff, but I really love the design of Kafka as a kaiju.
Yes.
Not nearly as much as I thought I would like it. Like, he looks really fucking cool. It's kind of hard for me to tell, but whenever I see him in like black and white, I think he is like a muscular system with like a skull face and horns. And I'm just like,
with like blue lightning.
Yeah. That looks badass.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if the author / illustrator kind of backed himself into a corner. Maybe he thought like, this was how I'm gonna sell this manga, and like I have to make the absolute coolest thing that I can put on a cover. Because so far, I mean, yeah, kaiju have been really cool, but like there's not been anything close to as cool as Kafka's form in kaiju. Like that's by far the coolest thing, I think.
I think I have to agree with you because the first, like, when you referenced, or when you said you wanted to read this, the first thought I had was, that cover looks so cool. I really want to read this.
Yeah, the cover was sick. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm happy to be reading that. Let me find it here real quick. Yeah, the blue kind of like lightning going through like the bone structure and the muscles and stuff. Yeah, it looks very, very cool. Yeah, I don't think he backed himself into a corner. I think he just put that's the monster we're going to see the most of, Kafka in his kaiju form.
Maybe.
Now, it might be one of those Super Saiyan things where he doesn't transform as often as we go on because the artist gets tired of drawing it.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe that's the corner he backed himself into, but I guess we'll have to read on to find out.
That'll be
if we decide to.
Oh, I feel like we're coming back to it at some point.
Yeah. I mean, there's 100 chapters. It seems to be going at a steady pace.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, I don't want to be overly optimistic, but man, like, I really want to come back to this at some point.
I don't want to be optimistic, but I fucking nailed it.
Right?
I did. That was actually going to be a part of my TLDR at first. I was like, in an attempt to redeem myself from my last terrible fuck up of reading Yu-Gi-Oh.
Was that your idea?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I really fucked up on Yu-Gi-Oh. Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk? I think I told you guys there's another Yu-Gi-Oh manga that actually deals with the card game. So
yeah,
maybe we revisit that someday,
or not,
or not. Maybe
or not.
Maybe people will let us know if they want to hear that or not. But,
yeah.
I think
at the time of recording, our first Yu-Gi-Oh episode hasn't even come out yet, so we're still waiting to hear back on that.
I think the only other thing I want to touch on is just how fantastic, like, yes, this kaiju is, the kaiju number 8 looks fantastic, But the fact that its skull face can have such amazing expressions to be so humanoid is fantastic.
Yeah.
I was laughing on multiple occasions.
Me too.
Yeah, he emotes it so well. Like, you can tell when he's like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that." Like, it's very cool. It's very nice.
And then
there's a lot of instances that are like that, and really appreciate it.
I found myself chuckling at this manga a few times.
Yeah, his expressions aren't entirely intentional either. Like, the surprise face is really good, but like, if you recall back to, I don't even know what chapter it was, but like when he saved that mother and her daughter from a kaiju, and he transformed there. He tried to make the child feel at ease, and he tried to smile for her, and it was just a terrifying, like, teethy picture with him sticking his tongue out, and he thought he was smiling.
I forgot about that.
That was one of the moments where I laughed out. I chuckled to myself out loud for that.
Me too.
I was like, that's good. I like that a lot. I definitely think reading other comedy manga has dampened my expectations a little bit, but no, it was still able to get me. Like, I really enjoyed it. Oh boy. So, John, do you have anything else for us? Any more questions? Anybody else have anything to point out before we maybe move on to final thoughts, if we're ready?
Yeah, I mean, I guess a final question before the final thoughts, and this is going to be really broad stroke, but I mean, I'm looking for like one sentence here. I guess in order here is, where is it going to go from here? One sentence
answers. Go, Duncan.
I mean,
he's reading ahead.
He's reading now.
Chapter 24, 25, 26. I don't know. I do want to read ahead. It sounds like it's a great manga. It was one of those that I did have to forcibly stop myself so we didn't run into another Hunter x Hunter predicament.
Save it for final thoughts. Give us a one-sentence answer. Where do we go from
Where's it going to go, Duncan?
More kaiju.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
What do you got?
Strong, more humanoid kaiju. That's what I'll say.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say more numbered kaiju. Because I don't fully remember what the numbers were meant to mean.
Yeah, and I don't exactly know what the numbers mean. I think they might have a power scaling, because we love power scaling around here.
If it weren't for power scaling, these mangas wouldn't have any structure.
Yeah, they might have something to do with it. I'm not sure.
Well,
I know what the numbers mean.
I was going to say that at the one it was when he punched the other kaiju when they were doing the that trial in the beginning. They're like, "What? This is a 9.8 based on electrical whatever, mumbo jumbo." So they gave him some sort of like actual power scaling as far as kaiju go. So I don't know what the numbers mean as far as that, and then the magnitude, I suppose, of a kaiju.
Yeah, numbers are hard.
Oh man, maybe it has to do with magnitude, because isn't that the Richter scale?
The numbers had to do with when they were observed based on the year. So he was like the 8th biggest one that they had seen that year.
That's less cool.
That's less cool. Yeah. You're right. But they did also have like a magnitude power scale for individual kaiju.
I remember the siren going off and saying, like, we have a blank-sized kaiju decimating downtown or something. Like,
this is size scale as well. It's a power scale. And then the numbers, like him being number 8, is just based on the order of observance that they found them during the year.
Interesting.
Less cool.
All right, well then, my last prediction, and I really, really have no clue where this is going to go, but my prediction is going to be... I think that... one sentence. I think that the biggest bad of this manga is going to be a humanoid kaiju that already exists, period.
Well, you really stretched out for that one.
That's a sentence. Good job.
It was a sentence. I mean, sure, it was
no,
a sentence.
I mean, like, not a very brave prediction, because, like, clearly that's what's being set up here.
Well, you know what? Sometimes we got to play it safe, all right?
All All right, fine.
I had to choose one sentence, and that's the sentence that chose me.
I'd say mine was even safer than his. There's gonna be more humanoid ones.
Yeah, I think Duncan was safer than everybody. There are going to be more kaiju.
He's right.
He's right.
One sentence in. So, all right. Well, John, if you don't have any more questions for us and no one has any more points to bring up, let's dive into final thoughts. Start with Duncan and go around the horn.
I have to say that the art style.
All right, Duncan. Thanks for your final thought. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Alrighty then. I'll catch you guys next week. the fucking Christ. The attention to detail in the story were all really captivating. The characters' names were a little bit hard for me to remember, but that's probably because just I'm a stupid American. But otherwise, amazing in general. I have to give it like a 9 out of 10. The only point being dropped because I'm a stupid American, and it's my fault that I have trouble remembering the characters' names.
When did we start ranking these things? Guys, you didn't even tell me these things before we start doing that.
Well, but figure it out.
All right.
You've been told.
I've been told. All right.
You've been warned.
Congratulations.
John, do you want to go next, or do you want to wait till the end since this was your pick?
Nah, fuck it. I'll go next. I mean, let's be very honest here. Like, I haven't been more excited to continue to read another one, and I don't want to preface get too excited and then us never come back to it. But I definitely feel like it's one that we need to come back to. The story was compelling. The artwork was great, and I mean, I left with more questions than I found answers, which in some cases is bad, but in this one, like, I'm just super pleased with the 20 chapters, and honestly, I wish I just said like the first 30, but nobody would have bought off on that. And yes, for anybody who may be in the same boat, I'm more excited to read more of this than I am Mashal.
Ooh.
Tough choice. Tough choice for me, but I respect it. Nate, what you got?
So what I got is anyone listening, if they want to keep up with a manga that's actually like currently on a week-to-week release, this is a massively good choice, because this is like, if I was caught up, I'd be like waiting for the next week for this to come out, because I'm excited. It's great.
Yeah, this is definitely nice. I think Duncan, you said there's 100 chapters right now?
Like 80.
I think there's 80.
It's ongoing, and its first chapter aired in 2020? Yeah, July 2020.
Wow, good year.
What a great year.
Yeah, great year.
Great year. Remember it fondly.
Good year to start writing a book.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, great year to start writing a book. Should have done that instead of played. Never mind. Well, yeah, my final thought's not going to be too different from your guys's. I really did enjoy it. The story was fun. The main character was actually like fun to be around. He was a bit of a loser, but like it's kind of endearing. The idea of cleaning up after the kaiju was a great start. To introduce us to the world. I thought it was really cool. I don't know that I would choose this over Mashal, but I wouldn't say no to it. You know what I mean? Like that makes it sound like I would put this down to read Mashal. I don't think I would. I would read them both concurrently with each other.
Just page by page.
Yep.
Just page by page. Like 1 page of Mashal, 1 page of Kaiju, 1 page of Mashal, 1 page. I will have no idea what's happening in either.
Terrible crossover. I think it'd be awful.
Terrible crossover. Yeah, terrible crossover. But I would definitely read like either or. Like it would come down to pretty much a coin flip for me. But I don't know that I can say more.
So it's funny that you say that it would come down to a coin flip, because on my phone I currently have Flip a Coin open.
Well, and that leads us to our little close here. So next week we're going back to One Piece. That'll be our next One Piece chunk. But the week after that, Duncan is your turn, to choose what our other manga of the month will be.
And
that week.
If you remember the last time I chose Hunter x Hunter, the next chunk of 20 chapters for that, and we all really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it, and I really want to keep reading Hunter x Hunter. However, after reading Kaiju number 8, I'm also very intrigued to continue reading that. So, Kaiju number 8 is heads, Hunter x Hunter is tails. I'm going to flip a coin. It's tails. So we're going to read the next 20 chapters of Hunter x Hunter for the next week.
Okay.
What chapter did we leave off on? Does anybody remember?
Ooh, basically, we're going to cover the Trick Tower arc. I don't have the chapters up at the moment.
Well, no, I thought we finished that. Oh, chapter 43 is where we stopped.
Oh, not
Yes.
Trick Tower. Excuse me. Oh man,
We read chapter 43. Chapter 44 is where we'll pick up.
yeah, it's not called Trick Tower. It's Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but
We finished Killua's arc. It's whatever's after that, and I haven't read it, so I don't know what it's called.
Oh my god, you didn't read ahead? Oh my
No, I didn't this time.
So, do we want to say, if we want to do 20 chapters, then 44 to 64? Like, read 64?
Sure.
Or we'll just keep it at an even 65. Let's read 65. How about that?
I like 65.
it's the Heaven's Arena arc is the next arc.
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
It's 20 chapters.
Perfect.
Nice.
When is it
Okay,
end?
so
So that will end on 63. So
63 it is.
we'll read up to 63.
all right, yeah. Someone write that down. All right, so yeah, again, next week we're going back to One Piece, and the next week, that is, let's see, I have my little trusty calendar here. July 3rd is when the next chunk of Hunter x Hunter will come up. So, yeah, look forward to that. And in the meantime, thank you everyone for listening to that one time we read manga. And yeah, like us on Facebook, follow us on Spotify, Apple iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, or wherever we upload our podcast anymore. Until then, we'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.